really looking forward to hearing about the peritoneal dialysis. I have to say, I've been quoting this one, so it's from Stand Up. So yeah, it's really looking forward to the 30-day update from AMS. And then we've got plenty of time for question and answers because we haven't got a second report today. So please, as you're listening to AMS, please do think, what is it you'd want to explore a bit further, because we have got a nice amount of time. So Kirsty, I'll hand over to you and the team in the room, if that's all right.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, my name's Kirsty from the KPO team. Back in June, we completed a Kaizen event in peritoneal dialysis. There was an ask by senior leadership to look at the PD service as GIRF recommendations are that 20% of patients should have their dialysis at home. This means that we need to increase the service by 10%. We're looking to increase capacity by making the service more streamlined and robust to ensure that we have efficient pathways. During the event in June, there were lots of different PDSAs identified, and I'm pleased to say the PD team over the last 30 days have made some significant steps in implementing and embedding some of these PDSAs.
Hi, my name's Carol Munn. I'm one of the Band 6s on the PD unit, and I'm going to be talking about PDSA 1, the diaries. So we now have the electronic production board to replace the paper diaries, which I'm really happy about. For the clinics, the home visits and the communication room. And all the team now know how to use the system, and we've started uploading data. This will improve staff morale tremendously with less frustration, as previous morale levels were 2.7 out of 5. So hopefully that'll improve significantly. Next steps moving forward is to agree a date to stop using the paper diaries and start with the electronic board. Next slide, please.
Hello, my name's Angela Hardy. I'm the process owner of this event, and I'm also the Band 7 sister in the PD unit. Our next PDSA was medication changes. We found this PDSA to be really successful. Initially, we thought we would just be using this change for our MDT meetings, but we found that it improved things so much that we did another PDSA cycle, and we now do all our medication changes this way. So at our 30-day report out, we've reduced our time from 120 minutes per day sorting out medication changes to 18 minutes per day. So we're saving ourselves 102 minutes per day. The printing of paper we've found is reduced by 100% because we print nothing out. And the defects of the GPs not getting this information has been reduced by 100% because these are getting sent in a timely manner. The next PDSA we did is a huddle. So the huddle is for the outpatient clinic setting. So we now appoint a leader. Oh, I always get this muddled up. Leader on point. So we now appoint a leader on point in the clinic setting who does the huddle with the staff that are in there so that staff are aware of their jobs and roles and responsibilities for the day. We've found that on our 30-day staff morale metric, we've found that as staff morale has increased by 24% by improving the huddle and having that in there. PDSA 5 is the setup reduction peritonitis packs. So this is for unplanned patients that walk in that are querying peritonitis. So what we've done is we have now got pre-prepared packs, and in these packs we've got all the blood tubes and all the sample containers that are necessary for the test that we need to run on a patient that might have peritonitis. We've also got in there a printout of all the bloods and tests that are needed on ice. By having this pack pre-made, we're now saving 12 minutes each time somebody comes in with a potential peritonitis. Next slide, please.
My name is Jade. I'm a Band 5 on the PD unit, and I will be talking about key learning. Things we think have gone well. We have implemented 3 PDSAs and sustained this for 30 days so far. We have also used the PDSA cycle for medication changes, not only for the MDT changes, but all other medication changes. We have also had financial reimbursement from a third-party vendor due to stock shortages, which was not a PDSA, but came around due to the KPO event. Barriers that we faced included issues with access for the electronic diaries, Some computers did not have Microsoft Teams installed. What we would have done differently next time, we currently don't think we would have changed anything, having managed what we needed to do so far. Next slide, please.
Okay, next steps are to implement PDSA 4, which the team have been gathering the baseline data. This change will look at skill mix of staff and increasing home visit productivity. This PDSA has many elements to it and will be very positive for the patient, as it will mean that they will be seen at home for more appointments and have to come into the hospital less. Whilst coming into hospital, they'll also no longer have to carry up to 10 kilograms of sample fluid across the hospital site. Whilst in conversations with immunology, this outpatient service also noticed that they're having similar issues to the PD service. The PD and immunology will be looking at working together on this PDSA to benefit both services and the patients that come through. We'll begin with process routing to understand tasks before allocation and then before moving on to level loading. And we're looking forward to reporting out at 60 days on any further improvements. There we are.
Thank you very much. Some really impressive things in there at only 30 days. So yeah, really impressive. And there's the knock-on impact of some of what you're doing is really interesting. I've got a couple of questions, but I'm going to just see if anybody else is putting their hand up before I take chair's privilege. So just okay, I'll let others just think on. Mark's just put something in the chat there. Oh, you might not be able to see it in the room, might you? But yeah, fantastic work from the PD team. I totally agree. I guess my first question really was about the wider application of the meds changes approach. It sounds like, you know, you've spread it, that sort of scale up and spread piece you've done immediately within the PD service. Is there opportunity to do that more widely across AMS and then potentially beyond, do you think?
I suppose for things that have got that have a similar setting to us, outpatient clinics and chronic patients that constantly keep coming back to the service, then like immunology is exactly the same sort of thing. Renal outpatients, all the other facilities, really.
Yeah, and I guess it's how we live. I was going to say maybe it's Mark's pick the world, but go on, Mark. Do you want to come in?
No, I would put my hand up to come in once you've finished, to be honest, Jenny. But I was just going to say, you know, when we set Ange and the PD team this task, it was amazing to see how much energy they'd got to start with, and even now, listening to them at 30 days, the energy is still there, but they're still finding more and more refinements and more applications. And I think just that wider piece of that collaboration in terms around the samples being moved around the organisation for patients, as was described. I think that's just indicative, I think, of how the PD team have approached the tasks that we set them. So I just wanted to put my hand up and come in after you'd finished talking. I just was a bit too keen to put my hand up just to say how pleased and grateful we are as an AMS team that the PD team have taken this on. Yeah, great. Well, I might give you a job card, Mark, and say, well, how do we widen the application of that meds changes piece in particular? Because it does feel like, you know, that sort of saving and the defect rate dropping to zero is just fantastic, isn't it? So yeah, really good stuff. Thank you. Magnus, chat to Quinn.
Jenny, thank you, and thank you to the team for the presentation. But more than that, thank you for all the hard work and thinking. What I'm really interested in, though, is how we create the conditions for this to happen in other areas. So it's a question to the team broadly. What led to you at this time thinking, right, we're on, this is what we're going to do, and what do you need? What would you advise other teams who are thinking of it? What do they need to replicate your success?
I think be ready to take the change, really, isn't it? Accept the changes need to be made sometimes to make things better, I would say.
Yeah. I think also I was new into the PD team, so I came in with a different, fresh pair of eyes. So I was sort of set up with that challenge. And these guys have supported it all along and all the way. So there was lots of challenges and lots of sort of just changes that we needed to make from from small changes to the big changes. And we started small and it got bigger. And then we needed the support of Mark and people such to listen to us and to acknowledge that, you know, there was things that we could change, but we were restricted to what we could change. We needed direction of knowing where to start because it just felt too overwhelming. So doing this event has made us focus on sort out what you want to start changing first, start small and keep things parked. We've got things in the car park. We've got so many ideas. We've got a QR code for the team where we can put our ideas on the board. So we've got an improvement board of where we can put notifications on of other ideas that just pop into our heads because we've just got so many ideas. It's trying to stay focused and get things rolled out in a manner that we can all keep on top of.
I'm going to just step in here as well, Magnus. This is the first team that we've used our new cultural assessment tool on the KPO, and this team ranked really highly in being ready for change. And as a KPO team, what we've been able to do is actually speed things up and push people because the culture was right to begin with, which is probably why we're seeing so many improvements in such a short space of time. And I truly believe that we're going to go on to solve some of these bigger things as well.
Kirsty, thank you. And if I can just a quick follow-up. So I think Fresh Eyes is really interesting because it enables you to ask those newbie questions and be properly curious. So that resonated. And can I just ask, have any of you done the LIM training, the introductory LIM training, or not? I'm just.
I might have done something years and years ago, but yeah, not nothing recent.
Cool, thank you.
Could I just want to say something? So I've worked in that department for like over 20 years, and I've been really frustrated knowing that we needed to make these changes. But like you were saying, it's the fresh eyes. So I just wanted to say thank you, and also the KPO team, because without you, we'd still been in that same place. So yeah, it's definitely fresh eyes looking in, I think, sometimes to help you to see things, because I think you get that set in your old ways and you can't, and you're busy and you can't see the wood for the trees. But then getting somebody else in, and I wanted to thank the rest of the renal team for actually looking after our unit. So Mark, again, thanks for organising that, so we're able to come out and actually get our head around things and be able to think, because that was one of the things we had issues with as well. So yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, it's really inspiring what you say there, because for me, I think knowing that there's people that can see what we can do better, and then, as Magnus has put it, how do we create the conditions so that knowledge can be, as we say, the people that do the work can improve the work. So yeah, thanks for that feedback. It's really helpful. Beverly, is it, or is that your Sunday name? Is it Bev?
That's my Sunday name. It's Bev. Yeah, I just wanted to echo what Mark said in the team were so ready for some new leadership, some new ideas, some new ways of working, but they wouldn't have been able to do that unless they were supported by the Tri team. So I just wanted to say thank you to Mark, Viv and Jez for allowing us that precious time to engage with the KPO team and to start to make the changes. I'm worn out with all the ideas that are coming my way. I know I've not been allowed to be involved in the KPO work, but sitting on the sidelines, which is really frustrating, but sitting on the sidelines is incredible. It's an amazing experience, and I just love that the team are so proactive. And I just wanted to acknowledge as well, as Carol has said, there were members of the wider renal team who have PD experience but don't work there, who stepped in and supported the patients through that 3-day close down, which again was just amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Bev. I suppose my final just thought was right on the last one on the next PDSA, how that's got potential, thinking widely about what's the trust's sort of strategic aims, and our national ask to, make sure that we're seeing follow-up outpatients when we need to see follow-up outpatients, and not doing when we don't, in a sense. And so, potentially that has an impact on your, reduction in outpatient appointments or face-to-face outpatient appointments on site, doesn't it? So, just recognising that you're contributing, obviously, very directly to the patients that you're treating, but also to some of those wider things that as a trust we're asked to try and work on. So yeah, just to say thank you for that as well. I can't see any other hands up. I think we've had real quality there. So thank you very much. I'm going to call it the end of report out, unless anybody waves at me quickly. So thank you very much. Thank you for all the work you've done and for taking that time out and for reporting back. I look forward to hearing again in 60 days. In another 30 days, 60 days. So thank you. Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend when you get there.
Bye.
Thank you.